To start the editing process, make sure your videos are off your camera or your phone, and I suggest you make a folder on a desktop and you keep them in there. And that's what I did with 3 videos that I recorded quickly for a demo. Then the next thing that you want to do is open up Windows Movie Maker. You can just type Movie Maker down here in the Start menu. This is the old Movie Maker. We don't want this one. We're going to use Windows Live Movie Maker, so make sure you open that. And then we're going to drag in those videos that were in that folder. So I'm just going to select all 3 of those and drag them in. Once you do that, you might notice that the videos are being converted. It sometimes will show down here that they're being converted to a format for Windows Live Movie Maker. In this case, mine were already converted. Sometimes I've noticed that when they come into Movie Maker, they will be upside down. And if you see that that happened, just remember that you can rotate it with these 2 options here. Now they're probably not going to be in the order that you want them in, so you can rearrange those as necessary. I'm just dragging those and dropping them in order. Now most of the time the editing that has to take place would be that at the very beginning of the clip or at the very end of the clip, some of that has to be trimmed off. In fact, when you're making your video, you should plan it that way, that you start the camera and then the action starts a little bit after that. So to trim this off, it's really easy. You can either press play to see where you want to cut it, or you can drag the playhead like I was doing. Let's say I wanted the scene to start right there. So then in your edit menu, if you go to edit, you'll notice it says split. And as soon as I click that, it makes a split at that point, and then this extra part can be deleted. I'm just going to click on it and then press the delete key, and that deletes it. Now the scene starts right where I want it to. You'd probably do a similar thing at the end. Drag it to the end, watch it if you need to, or drag the playhead, figure out where you want to cut it, and then you can split. Now notice when I hover over this that it has an M in parentheses. That means M is my shortcut key. So I actually can get that where I want it and then just press M and that splits it. Shortcuts will help a lot to speed up the editing process. I clicked on that clip and I'm pressing delete. I would do that with each one of my videos, trimming off the beginning and the end as necessary. You can also trim out the middle. Let's say that I had a part in here that I didn't want, like see right here where I'm moving the camera a lot. Let's say I wanted to cut that out. So right before the camera starts moving, I'm going to put a split. I press the M key to split it. Then the camera stops moving about right here, so I'm going to press M again. Now I've got this clip in the middle that I want to remove because that's where my camera was moving. So I press the delete key. Now you notice that my scene goes from back here to quickly zoomed in on that camera. Sometimes it's hard to tell where you want to trim these because the clip will be very short. So if you ever need to zoom in, go to the view menu and you can click zoom in, and it doesn't change the length of these clips, but they look longer on the screen so that you can more easily zoom to right where you want to. Also, these buttons right here will let you step 1 frame at a time. So you notice on this clip where I was moving a little more, you can click these 1 frame at a time and get exactly where you want to put that split. Alright, at this point I'm assuming that you've got everything in order and you've trimmed the ends off as necessary, so that part of the video is done. What you probably want to do is add a title at the beginning. So I moved the playhead to the beginning, and then if you go to the home menu, right here is title, and when you click that it gives you a text box. I'm going to write lab video in here. You could call it whatever you want, and then when we play this you notice that it fades in. There are a lot of things about the title that you can change, so when you click on a title you notice it adds a format menu, and that brings up a lot of extra options that we didn't have before. You can set how long the title lasts, you can change the font, and you can change the type of animation that you're using. Don't spend too much time with the titles. Make sure your video content is as good as it can be first. You can add credits at the end of the video the same way. You notice on the home menu that it does have credits right here. When you're all done with the video, don't forget that you have to save the project that you just created. The project is this right here, and it's not what you're going to send the teacher. So you should save the project, but you also need to save the movie, and this is the important step a lot of students forget. Click on Save Movie, and you'll notice right here it says recommended for this project. And what I'm going to suggest is you just save that to the desktop on the laptops. Call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Lab Video. And click Save. That's going to mix down your video into a video file that you could share with your teacher.